Yo, how we doing? Welcome to the live stream. It's your boy Shane Kelleher. I'm joining you from a chilly Sunday night. Today is January the 12th. It's about 25 degrees outside. We've had a rough go this winter, and we are live, baby. So a few weeks back, or actually just over a week ago at this point, I did a YouTube poll, and I said, pull it up here on my phone, thinking of doing weekly live videos around 30 minutes to an hour every Sunday, giving weekly training updates, running tips, etc., doing some Q&A if I want, and so on. Is this something y'all will be interested in? And 73 people answered, and out of those 73 people, about 62 said, heck yeah. So we're giving it a shot. This is the first one. Forgive me for being a little bit disorganized here maybe, but we're giving this a shot. I'm not too sure many other YouTubers in the running space are doing live streams, at least not too many that I'm aware of. So, heck, we're giving it a shot. Again, first one I've ever done, first time I've ever been live on this channel. Might be a little bit unorganized for the first time, but hey, you got to start somewhere. So we're going to dive into it here. Kind of the format I want to have with this is go over sort of my past week or so of training, run down every run of the week, how I felt, take you through each run and whatnot. If you guys are just tuning into my channel, you may know that I'm training to run a sub 2:30 marathon here in a couple weeks. We are 3 weeks out, as the title says. Just got a key long run in yesterday, and yeah, I'm planning to go live every Sunday here from now until February 2nd, which is the Sunday of my race. And so how I'm going to go about this is pull up my training calendar first, roll back and forth between the training calendar and Strava, just have a conversation, talk about my runs and whatnot. And if anyone has any questions in the chat, feel free to put them in. I'll get around to those at some point, and we'll go from there. So, as I said, today is Sunday, the 12th. I'm going to pull up my training calendar. Again, forgive me. This is the first live stream, so if things don't go completely smoothly, I hope you can understand. Also, this live stream will be live on my channel as a full video once it's done. I'm planning to be live for about 30 minutes or so. Could be longer, could be shorter. We'll see how it goes. But the full video will be live. So for anyone who's just watching for a little bit, popping in and out, if you want to see the full breakdown after the fact, once the live stream is over, I'm planning for it to be available. I might trim some of the bits out if I'm too boring throughout a lot of this live stream. But let's get into it here. So today is the 12th of January. I'm pretty sure I've said that about 3 or 4 times at this point. So we are 3 weeks out from the marathon. I got my training calendar pulled up here. If you saw my last YouTube video, I basically broke down this training calendar and gave you essentially all the key workouts I'm hitting from December when I started this. It started at the beginning of December. My sub 2:30 marathon attempt is on February the 2nd. So I kind of just ran through the whole training calendar from December to February, shared all my key workouts with you guys, and showed you the breakdown of this training calendar and whatnot. So I'm not going to go through everything. I went through quite a bit from where I was at in my last YouTube video, my full YouTube video. So go ahead and check that out if you want to. But where we're going to pick up off here, where we're going to leave off here is, I believe, the week of, really quickly, I'll go through the week of December 30th. And then this past week, the week of January 6th, because I think up through the 30th, I had made a video that covered, I think, at least these first 3 weeks of December. I might have missed out on this week, but I don't want to make this too long. I do want to kind of keep this focused on the past 2 weeks. All right. Also, this being the first live stream, also have mentioned that a few times. I apologize. If the audio is bad, if I'm too loud, if I'm too quiet, if I'm just being annoying, feel free to let me know in the comments. Okay, this is a little bit laid back. First time I've done this, so I'm not an expert at live streaming either. This is the first one. So please let me know. Give me your feedback. Don't be mean, but be honest. All right, let's get into it, baby. So, starting on the 30th here. Actually, we're going to pick up on the 28th. The 28th was a key long run day for me. The 28th of December did a 18-mile long run, and this was the hardest one I had so far in the training build, in the training plan, because I did, let's see if I can zoom in here and show a little bit more. That looks pretty good. I had a tempo portion for the middle 13 of this long run, and I held a 5:54 pace for basically a half marathon, 13 miles, and it was pretty brutal. I won't lie to you. Without going into this week of the 23rd too much, it was a brutal week of training. I had 3 workouts this week if you include the long run. I had one 2x3 mile session, which I ran both of those sets under 16 minutes, so definitely pretty fast. Definitely was breathing heavy there, felt that the next day for sure, so one hard workout there, recovery day in between. And then I did an 8-mile tempo at 5:36 per mile average, which was faster than I was planning, but I felt really good that day. But still afterwards, obviously very sore. Well, not very sore, but fatigued from the work, Next day, recovery day, and then I went into this long run where I had 13 tempo miles here. 5:54 pace for the middle 13. I remember this feeling very controlled for the first half of the 13, through 6 or 7. But I noticed that into that halfway I was really starting to feel it. I could feel the week of training on my legs, and I was kind of like, oh shoot. I don't know how well I can finish this. And I sort of bonked at the end. My notes here felt pretty brutal the whole time and low-key bonked on the last few. That's sort of kind of a lie. I felt all right at the start. I maybe went into it kind of feeling a little bit tired, but for the first bit of the tempo, I did feel okay. But by the end, I low-key bonked a little bit. I did not negative split the 13 miles, I don't think. I think I dropped down to just barely sub-6 pace by the end. Anyways, certainly was drained after this workout, and if you guys have been following along, I've been taking every single Sunday off. I've been doing this since, I believe, November of last year, 2024, maybe even October. And guys, that's been a game changer for me, giving me one full day off where I'm doing nothing. I'm just relaxing, not even worrying about training. I'm getting all of my training into the 6 days during the week and then taking Sunday off. That's been so nice for me. It's helped me go into every week feeling fresh and recovered and ready to tackle a bunch of running in the upcoming week. So that was nice to have. But this week of the 30th started out, I usually start out, if you look at this plan, look, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. I start out every Monday with a 12-mile easy run. This day was just, a 7:30 pace, 7:31. Felt pretty solid, a little bit stiff, but fresh. So I can toggle back and forth to Strava here and pull up this. Here, let me go to the last week here. Let's see. This would be it right here. Priming the body for another week of pain, baby. This is 12 miles, 7:30 pace. That's how we're starting the week. Now, the next day, we had a workout. And I'll note during this week, the week before, as I mentioned, if you're just popping in now, I had a really, really volume-intensive 3-workout week the week before. So going into this Monday, Tuesday, I felt fresh, but I noted a little stiff here. I could kind of feel that I had a really solid week of training the week before. I felt a little tired. So I was a little bit worried initially on this Tuesday how it was going to go. And I had a 9x K workout, 2 minutes rest in between the Ks, 2 minutes jogging rest. And I didn't feel that great. I did not feel that great during this workout. This was the first workout I did not feel that well. That can be sort of a frustrating feeling sometimes when you're used to crushing every workout, feeling great every workout. You're having you're just on a tear. You're on a streak of just feeling so good, and you think you're unstoppable and nothing can take you down. And then you have that one workout where things don't necessarily go too well, and you're kind of like, ugh, shoot. You don't let it get to your head, though. And I, forgive me, and I certainly didn't. You're going to have ups and downs throughout training. You're going to have crappy days, and it's sort of how you come off of those crappy days that define you as a runner. So this specific workout, again, 9 by K, I averaged around 314 for all the Ks, and closed down to 307 by the very end, 2 minutes rest in between. But I didn't feel that good. I kind of never got my swag on. I never felt really smooth the whole time. I just was kind of forcing it almost. And I could have went into the later reps of this workout and tried to force it even more and got pissed off and tried to run faster. But just gonna hop in. Jonathan McDonald with a $4.99 donation. Hey man, I appreciate that. You are the first guy to ever submit a donation to this channel. I really appreciate that, man. If you missed it earlier, this is the first live stream I've done on this channel. I'm planning to do them every Sunday up through my sub 2:30 marathon attempt, which will be on February the 2nd. Really appreciate that, bro. Hey, you're the man. I'm gonna like that right there. Jonathan McDonald. All right. So back into it. The 9 by K workout. I was saying I could have forced the later reps of that workout. I could have tried to push down to 3 flat or sub 3. I decided to roll with the punches. I decided to run how my body felt that day. Still push it a little bit. It's a workout. It's supposed to be hard, but I didn't really want to force it too hard. I was coming off a really hard week, right? I was coming off a 3 workout week, and I kind of just wanted to get the stuff done. So the dude just said, I just randomly saw your page on YouTube. I think your stream is down, or you haven't started, not sure. If that would be the case, the dude, can anyone else let me know? I believe the connection seems okay, but if that's the case, I can certainly address that and try to get the stream working again. But I think we should be good. I'm not 100% sure. So not to ramble too much about this 9 by K workout, but the long story short of it is I didn't feel that great. I got the work done. It was solid strength work, and I said, hey, I'm going to brush this one off the floor, and I'm going to move on with my life. I'm not going to have a pity party about it. Appreciate that, Matt, man. Looks like the stream is good. So I didn't kick myself in the teeth over this one. I said, hey, let's move on. It is what it is. So next day is January. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great new year to start off 2025. And I certainly was with just all this monster training I've been doing, but I digress there. Wednesday, January 1st, 12-mile easy run. Hop on Strava here. Oh, and before I get to that, I never really showed this 9 by K workout on Strava. I have a few Strava notes here. And please let me know if the stream is buffering or anything like that. I'm getting a message from YouTube that's saying it's buffering. Might not be the best connection right now. Again, first live stream ever. Forgive me for the technical malfunctions. It'll be smoothed out in the future. But anyway, so this 9 by K workout on Strava. Finished. These look like pretty flat paces, but I did finish with a 307 by the end. My notes here. Couldn't find a rhythm and legs were sore. Just had to sack up and get her done today. Sometimes you just got to sack up and get her done, man. You go into these runs and you're not feeling the best and you don't want to force things, but hey, sack up and get her done. So that was the name of the game for that 9 by K workout. But I realize I've talked about that for almost 10 minutes at this point, so let's move on. We're on to January the 1st. Another 12-mile easy run, man. That's what my easy runs are. 12 miles. 10 to 12 around there. It's more volume than I've done in the past for sure. But hey, that's how you get better as a runner. Nothing too crazy to bring up with this one. Just kind of an easy 12 miles, 7:28 pace. I try to keep my easy run. My easy runs around 7:30. Sometimes they get a little faster. Sometimes they're slower. I don't care about pace. I don't. Okay, for easy runs, I really don't. As long as I'm getting in an easy recovery effort, and typically for me, they're always under 8-minute pace. Sometimes they're above 8-minute pace, though, very rarely. I'm not going to worry too much about my pace. I don't really look at heart rate, none of that stuff. I'm just out there, time on the feet, recovery, run. Okay, you should not care. This is an important note. You should not care how your runs look on Strava. Okay, it's especially easy runs. Who cares? If you're training for a race, if you have a marathon on the calendar, a half marathon on the calendar, a 5K, a 10K, whatever it is, that is the most important thing. Your race. Who cares about what your Strava pace looks like? I used to care a lot in the past. I know a lot of people, the pressure of looking good on social media can be immense at times, but who cares? It's about how you perform during the race. So you might look like you're slow for some of your runs during the week, but I promise you, if you don't let that get to your head, you're better off. So, quick question from Matt Mann. I'm going to pop up here. How do you determine progression of those Tuesday sessions? Increased number of reps or length of reps? Is there a system? So Matt, I kind of for my Tuesday session, I like to have, a speedier session, right? I kind of have planned out in advance what all of my sessions are going to be. And you are correct in that they kind of get more intensive as the weeks go by before I taper off. So, there's no really rhyme or reason to why I'm picking specific distances or numbers of sets. It's just kind of what my body can handle, or what I think when I'm planning this, what I think my body can handle at X period of time, this Tuesday, this Tuesday, this Tuesday. So if I go through sort of all my Tuesday workouts in the plan, they do get harder as I go, okay? Slightly. They get harder as in either it's more mileage or I'm moving faster, right? So if we look at, give me a second here, if we look at Tuesday, the 3rd of December, 3:13 tempo, then I had 3x2 mile, 5x2K, 2x3 mile. They're kind of getting, maybe not, like if you look at this, 12, 12, 13, 12, 13, kind of around the same distance, but just more intensive as I go. I kind of just take what my body gives me. Usually as I go, I'm improving in fitness, so I'm going to naturally go faster. I don't know how well that helped answer your question, Matt. That might have just been me rambling for 2 minutes, but that is my brief answer. We can get into that maybe later in the conversation here. So anyway, the dude, quick question from him. I got a question too if you're taking them. Do you do strength training and or plyometric stuff? You know what, the dude, I think that's, the short answer to that is not that much. And that's a full conversation of itself and a separate video I could maybe make at some point. But I don't think I'm going to go into that too much today. I do core work. I do some hip mobility and some sort of like ankle mobility, very light body weight strength training stuff, but I don't lift heavy weights. And personally, if you want the short answer, this might peeve a lot of people off. I think weightlifting is overrated, in my opinion. I also realized that I have not been sharing the spreadsheet when I was going through my Tuesday workout, so apologies there. But anyway, before I keep rambling about December stuff, let's get back to where we were in January, picking up on Wednesday the 1st. So the next day, Thursday, another easy run, 11 miles easy, 7:22 pace. Felt good on this one. Maybe still a little bit fatigued just from having that week prior where I had several workouts and, just kind of having that rough workout on Tuesday, the 31st of December. Getting in a question from Sean Ricky. I believe I'm just going to, at this point, go through all the questions once I'm through my discussion on the training plan here in Strava. So, Sean Ricky, if you stick around, I'll get to your question here at the end of the stream here. So, Friday, 12 miles, 9 of those were tempo. This one I had to do on the treadmill. Treadmill runs are boring to look at Strava, I'm aware. So really not much to see here. Ended up doing 9 miles at 5:43 pace. Nothing too sexy there, just kind of a traditional tempo. And I felt good on this one, though. I started feeling better. Again, average 5:43 pace. That's right around that 2:30 marathon click. So good to get that in. Those long tempos on the treadmill can be brutal, though, for sure. It's definitely not super exciting being on the treadmill doing fast stuff all the time. So anyway, 15 on Saturday. That was our long run for the week of January 1st. Or when did the week start? The 29th or the 30th of December. So 15. This was a problematic run for certain. It was, I'm in Northeast Ohio, guys. So we've been getting a ton of snow here, and it's been extremely cold. Like, the average high for the past 2 weeks has been like 24 degrees. I don't know if that's accurate, but it's been like mid-20s as a high. And it sucked. We've been getting a lot of snow. It's been really brutal. So some of these runs have been in like slush, snow. It's a hard time of year to be training for a marathon. I'll say that for sure. That's why I've been having to utilize the treadmill for quite a few of these runs. But anyways, this specific long run on Saturday, it was absolutely terrible conditions outside. I have it noted here. The snow was crazy. We got like over a foot of snow overnight. It was absolutely nuts. And I started my run outside, had to finish up on the treadmill. It was that bad. It was, I was almost getting hit by cars out there. I couldn't hold a solid pace. I was planning to have like a moderate pace for this long run, and I just couldn't do it. So I had to flip after 4.5 and finish up on the treadmill for this one. So overall, this week was honestly a bit underwhelming in my opinion. I suck at this live stream stuff, guys. I'm sorry. I meant to have the spreadsheet pulled up here, and I did not. I will try not to make that mistake again. As I was saying, though, overall, this was a little bit of an underwhelming week for me. It almost seemed like I regressed, and I was a little disappointed at first, but, as I was saying earlier, it is what it is. Not every week you're going to crush it. Some weeks you don't feel as well as others. I got the work done. I did my long run. I had my quality workout earlier in the week. I also had a nice tempo on the treadmill. You got to take what you're given. Was I worried about this? I really wasn't. I knew in the back of my head, hey, it is what it is. Not every week you feel like a monster. Next week is probably going to be different. So speaking of next week, let's get into that. All right. So the week of the 6th, that is this week. Today, again, is the 12th. So we're talking about last week of training. Starting off the week again. Are you surprised? 12 miles easy. That's what I'm doing every single time, with the exception of my taper down here. Felt good. This week, again, terrible weather all week, snow on the ground, very rough. I had to do this one on the treadmill, and it sucked. It sucks running 12 miles on the treadmill. It's not fun. You got to put in a podcast, put in some nice tunes, and just zone out, because it's tough, man. 12 miles on a treadmill. Anything over 10 on a treadmill is just like, gosh, this is brutal. But I got it done. That's what you got to do this time of year in Northeast Ohio. If you're training to run fast, you got to get used to some treadmill miles. So that's how we started the week. Tuesday the 7th ended up being a 13.5 mile day. So this is a funny one, and I'm actually making a full-length YouTube video on this day. It's going to be just like a training day. I worked that day. I'm showing my basically me throughout the whole day, waking up, working, eating, running, all that stuff. It's going to be similar to like my 70 mile per week training video, but it's just going to be on one day. So I actually got that pulled up here through my editing here. So that should be out sometime, if I had to guess, probably by the end of next weekend, if I had to guess. So that'll be my next video I'm dropping here. But anyways, I had a key session this day, and unfortunately did have to do it on the treadmill. But it was 4x2 miles, and I have strides here. I was originally planning, when I made this training plan, to do strides at the end of all of my runs, but I usually am so dead by the end of the actual quality reps of the workout that I haven't been doing the strides, but that's okay in my opinion. But anyway, back to the workout. 4x2 miles on Strava. Again, another boring treadmill entry. So not really exciting to look at this, but This is probably the better place to look at my notes from the workout. I started, so before I get into my times, I planned for 4x2 mile, right? I'm going to bring up the full screen here. I planned for 4x2 mile on this day. Actually what happened is a 3x2 mile workout with the treadmill suddenly stopping working. It stopped working on the last set, and from there I went into a battle between hopping back and forth between two treadmills, seeing which one would work. I live in an apartment, and I use the gym complex in my apartment, or the gym in my apartment complex to do these treadmill runs. And the treadmills aren't the greatest there. They can go up to 12 miles an hour, but they frequently shut off at times. And at first I thought I had broken the treadmill, which maybe I don't think I broke it. I've been on it since. It's working. But long story short, this fourth rep of the 2 mile workout, the treadmill just would not cooperate with me. It didn't want to work. So I got a half mile in the first time around on that fourth 2 mile rep, and then it stopped working. I was very pissed off. I was like, what the heck? I want to finish this up. Then I waited some time for the treadmill to fix itself, and I ended up being able to make it 1 mile this time, 5 flat mile, and then it shut off again. And I was really, really mad at this point. And then finally, after waiting a little bit longer, I was able to get in the full 2 mile rep, which I closed in a 10 flat. So ended up being a very interesting workout. 3x2 mile, about a half mile, and I say treadmill breaks. Here, let me pull this back up. Half mile, then treadmill breaks. 1 mile, then other treadmill breaks. And then finally a 2 mile to finish it out, the last 2 miles. So 10:37, 10:26, 10:13, and then 5 flat pace for the rest of the workout there. So treadmill paces, right? We got to talk about that real quick. So when you run on a treadmill, it's quite a bit easier to hold faster paces, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many others. It's easier to run faster on a treadmill for a couple of reasons. One, you don't have wind blowing in your face, and then also just the physics of the moving belt of the treadmill. You aren't pushing off quite as hard, so it's a little bit easier to run fast paces on the treadmill. So a lot of people recommend putting the incline at 0.5% incline. I didn't do that, and I typically don't do that. Maybe I should in the future. But regardless, it's a little bit easier to run fast paces on the treadmill. That's for sure. So these paces that you see here, 10:37, 10:26, this is like 5:18, 5:13, 5:07, and then 5 flat. I would maybe add 5 or 10 seconds per mile to those, because if I ran this outside, if I was closing a 4x2 mile workout in 10 flat outside, I'd be like, dang, I am in good shape, man. Definitely was dying by the end of this one for sure, but I don't want to go out and say that I would have ran these fast of times outside, is what I'm trying to say. So anyways, very, very solid workout. Again, full video on that training day will be coming out here by the end of next week. So day after that, Wednesday the 8th, solid 11-mile run. Again on the treadmill. Had to do it. Absolutely terrible weather outside. No getting around that. Go Cavs. The Cavs, I'm Northeast Ohio guy, big Cavs fan. We're the best team in the NBA, baby. We played the Oklahoma City Thunder this day, the second best team, and we ended up winning. So let's freaking go Cavs. All right, if you're a fan, if you're an NBA fan, let me know who your team is in the chat. Go Cavs. So I digress. Thursday, we're back outside. And one thing I want to note going into this week, I had a very key long run on Saturday of this week. It's a 20-mile long run if you see here. So I had 3 recovery days in between workouts. Normally I have 1 or 2, depending on how many workouts I'm doing during the week. So I was really wanting to take advantage of recovery up through when I was going to do this 20-mile long run, right? So anyways, 12 miles easy on Thursday. I think it actually ended up being 11 and a half. Let me check here. 11 and a half. okay? And you'll notice here, 6:59 pace. Okay, that's a little fast for an easy run, right? I noted here in the plan that I felt weirdly really good. This was my first day back outside in a while. I hadn't been outside in, like, honestly, since I think Thursday of the previous week, just because of all the snow and all the crappy weather we've had here. So it felt good to get back outside, and I pushed it a little bit, but it didn't even really feel like I was pushing it. I was just kind of just cruising along, doing whatever. So it was good to get it. Like, I was encouraged that I felt that good for an easy run. Next day, just 9 miles. So we're preparing for this 20-mile long run the next day. Again, I actually went a little bit faster than I ideally would, 7:05 pace, 7:06 here. But kept it, short, 9 miles, nothing crazy. Had a couple sub 7 splits in here maybe, but simple stuff, easy stuff. Felt good and was ready to rip the long run on Saturday. So Saturday we were planning for a 20-mile long run with 13 to 16 of those being at marathon pace. So pull up. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I just closed the chat. By the way, I am going to go through those questions at the end of the stream here. But anyways. So, 13 to 16 at marathon pace. Sub 2:30 marathon pace, which is the race time that I'm going for, is about 5:42 to 5:43 minutes per mile. To get right under that sub 2:30, that's about like a 2:29:30 around there. It's like 5:42, 5:43 pace. And originally I was planning in between 13 and 16 miles. I ended up going 16, 2-mile warm-up, 2-mile cool-down, plus the 16 hard, so that added up to 20. And I had a flippin' crazy session this day. So when I woke up this morning, or not this morning, but this particular morning, the 11th, this was yesterday, it was, of course, super snowy and cold. We had like 4 or 5 inches of snow overnight. Probably more. Probably like at least 6 inches, to be honest. And it was going to be difficult to get this long run in outside. I knew that right from the start. And I was like, shoot, what do I do? I really don't want to do this on the treadmill. I really did not want to have to do 20 full miles on the treadmill. I mean, who would want to do that? I know I do crazy things. I do things that no one in their right mind would do. But 20 miles on a treadmill, I did not want to add that thing to the list of stupid things I've done. So I was able to find a stretch of neighborhood where it was actually part of a bus route, and they were required to plow the loop. Yeah, they were required, because it's in a bus route, they had to salt and plow the neighborhood loop. So it was perfect. It was perfect for me to do my run there. Especially because this marathon I'm doing, if you followed the channel, it's 26 loops on a 1-mile stretch. So the course I ended up doing this in, and I'll show you here, was literally a 1.2 mile circular loop, more or less. So it was almost picture perfect race conditions, for real. Again, this stretch here was plowed and salted, so it was really nice. And you've already seen the pace at this point. 5:31 pace for 16 miles. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna drop the mic on that one. I said marathon pace is about 5:43 for sub 2:30, and I freaking crushed that. I went out in this run about 5:38, 5:39 a mile. And that's what I figured I was going to try to hold, like high 5:30s, low 5:40s around there, maybe progress into it a little bit. But I ended up settling just into like a crazy rhythm of just like low 5:30s. And I felt freaking amazing during this. I'm not even going to lie. I felt really solid. And I was just sort of... The other thing too with this loop is, I don't know if you can see the elevation down here, but there is quite a bit of elevation gain. You kind of go up and down, up and down, up and down. The total elevation was 735 feet. So that's not, that's not negligible. That's a good amount of elevation for 16 miles. If you extrapolate that over a marathon, I think you would have like 1,200 feet of climbing, something like that. So that's quite a bit. I won't lie to you there. And guys, I just felt amazing on this run. You can see I closed down at a 5:13, just to kind of like really sprint it out at the end. But this run, low key, may have changed the way I'm thinking of going into this race. I almost felt like I could have held a pace close to this for the full race. And I realized that, again, sub 2:30 pace is 5:43 per mile, 5:42. If I held like 5:35, that would be like 2:26, 2:27. So I might update my goal here a little bit. But I don't know. The last thing I want to do is go out too fast and bonk. I really don't want to do that. So I got some thinking to do on this. But long story short, this long run went absolutely amazing. Could not have been happier. And the thing was, I wasn't even really pushing that hard until like the very end. I was kind of smooth with it. I took in one gel during this race, or not this race, but during this training run. It went down super easy. A lot of times in the past, I've had problems with cramping up when I'm trying to take a gel, like getting the side stitch cramp. None of that happened. It went down pretty easy. I was able to take it down running 5:30 pace. So huge confidence booster there. I have here, I split a 1:12:06 half marathon for the last half marathon. That is crazy for me, okay? If you told me I'd be doing runs like this 6 months ago, I wouldn't have believed you. So anyways, that's how we finished up here. That's the week we finished up with. 20 on the day with the warm-up and cool-down. 77 miles this week. Today's the 12th. Taking off. I take off every Sunday. And that's the note we've ended on last week. So a couple of my notes here. Very quality week. Brutal treadmill workout on Tuesday. And absolutely insane LR on Saturday. One more quality week, then we taper down. I'm feeling really good at this point. I don't want to screw anything up. I'm definitely confident in this sub 2:30, guys. If I don't fall off a bridge, I'm going to do it. As far as how much faster I can go from this, I don't know, and I don't want to start talking about that yet. I don't want to get too cocky with it, but definitely very, very thrilled to see my fitness at this point. So that's what I got to say on this. Again, first live stream of the channel. Not sure if you guys like this format or not. I know I rambled a ton there. I will get better in the future. I got to keep things more structured. Would love to stick to a stricter schedule for more of these live streams. But anyways, I'm going to get into, I know we had a few questions in the chat that I'm just going to briefly address here, and then we'll call it a night. And again, if you're hopping in now to the live stream and you missed the beginning and you want to see my training update, the full video will be, I'm planning for it to be available on my YouTube channel, so you should be able to find that there. All right, let's go back up through a few of these questions. So left off on talking about strength training, answered that. So from Sean Ricky, what's your approach to fueling and nutrition for marathon blocks, both during the run and for each day? Does it change depending on the day, workout days, long runs, easy? Okay. So as far as my fueling and nutrition goes, I'll start with actually during runs. So as far as taking in gels and fluids during training runs, I don't do a lot of that personally. And I'll preface the answer to this question with, just because I don't do something doesn't mean you should. I'm not the holy grail of marathon knowledge here. It doesn't mean you don't have to do it, or it doesn't mean you have to do it. But personally, I've never been too big on taking in a ton of like fluids or gels during my training runs. Even for long runs, I haven't been too huge on that. There is something to be said for burning, not to get too scientific here, but if you are doing a 20-mile long run, for instance, or maybe we'll say 18, and you don't take in any calories throughout that, no sugar, no glycogen, no nothing, if at some point during that run, your body is going to have to learn to burn the fat on your body. So again, without getting too scientific, when you're running at faster paces especially, your body will preferably burn glycogen as its main fuel source. But when you run out of glycogen, your body's going to be forced to use fat as fuel. And that process is a lot less efficient. It's also known as sort of like hitting the wall during a marathon. Your body's run out of glycogen to burn, and it's starting to burn fat. So people think, and this is kind of a theory that I believe in, if you are able to somewhat deplete yourself during long runs of glycogen, your body is going to adapt to burning fat better than if you were constantly taking in gels, constantly taking in fluids. So that's one of the reasons I don't always like to take in gels and fluids. But realistically, it is important to practice it for race day, because for race day, you don't want to be burning fat as fuel. You want to be burning glycogen because that's the fastest way you can run. So when I do these like key long runs, like the one I did this week where I did 16 miles, I took in a gel and I wasn't able to take in any fluids. I wanted it to be a continuous long run, and I didn't have anybody who was there able to hand me a water bottle or anything like that. But I would say for a couple key long runs in your marathon build, you want to experiment with gels, a couple gels per training run, and more importantly, you want to be sucking down these gels when you're going at that faster marathon pace, and that's exactly what I practiced this last Saturday. So I know that might have been a long-winded answer, but the short of it is, I think you don't need to always be taking gels with you on your long runs, but definitely for a few, you want to experiment with them. But for sure, during the race, obviously you need to be taking in glycogen. That's a topic I'll get into here with another video perhaps. And I apologize if I gave you a very confusing answer to that question. So aside from that, real quick. So that was during your runs, right? Now, how about during your training, your fueling and what you're eating and what you're drinking throughout the day before your runs? So I am pretty consistent with what I eat day to day, no matter whether it's an easy run, a workout, an off day. I keep it pretty consistent. Now, with that being said, if I do have a big run coming up, I will try to carb load maybe a little bit more, eat a little bit more, make sure I don't get close to that glycogen depletion zone too much. That sort of goes against what I said before, but it's pretty self-explanatory. If I have a 20-mile long run coming up, I'm going to eat a little bit more that morning, the days leading up, the night before especially. So the short of it is, I'm not, my nutrition is pretty much the same day to day, regardless of whether I'm doing a workout, an easy run. But if I do have a higher quality long run or workout, I might make sure I'm getting in a few extra calories and whatnot the day before and the day of that workout. All right, from Jonathan McDonald, what do you do when you are invited to a social occasion after work or when you plan to run? That is a very good question, John. If I can fit it in my schedule, I'll go. Nowadays, obviously, I can't fit it in my schedule. I say, no, I have something to do. A lot of time, a lot of my coworkers know that I'm a runner, so a lot of them just assume that I'm not going to be able to hang out after work. But I have been in that situation before where I get asked to go do something and I have to run, and it's like, I kind of want to do that. I want to be part of this post-work, conversation, hanging out, that kind of stuff, but I can't because I got to run. So sometimes you can lie. Hey, I gotta go do this. I gotta go pick up my girlfriend for her cars, at the shop. Yada yada yada. You can do that if you want, but a lot of times I'm just honest. Nah, I gotta run. I got a marathon in a couple weeks here. Just got a training run. But you don't want to become a complete training hobbit, and do nothing social outside of work. So if you are able to fit it in, it is important to spend social time, with others. So I fit it in if I can, but most of the time I can't. I'm just honest with how it is. Usually I do all my social stuff during the weekends, because during the week, a lot of times people understand too during the week. If it's a Tuesday after work and people are wanting to go out and get drinks or whatever, you should not feel bad about saying no to that. I mean, come on, people have lives. I honestly think if people are doing that every weekend, going to get drinks on a Tuesday after work, like, those might not be the type of people you want to be hanging around with. That's just me. But I digress there. Let's see what else we got. Absolutely not, Jonathan. Run, sleep, eat, recover. The only way is to spend one's time. Yes, Matt, you know how it goes. Rematch Thursday. We're going to get y'all back in OKC. Matt, did you say you were a Celtics fan? Oh, are you a OKC fan, Matt? If so, nah, man, we're sweeping you. We're taking you back. That will be a tougher one because that one is in OKC. We're talking about the Cavs right now. Spencer Mahone, what's up, my guy? How you doing? OSU or Notre Dame? I got OSU by a freaking million. It's not even going to be close. If OSU plays the way they've been playing, their offense is just too good. I haven't been watching too much Notre Dame, but I think OSU is going to win for sure. Jonathan McDonald is a Celtics fan. Sorry to hear that. Well, actually, I am not sorry to hear that. You guys have been insanely good for a while. But this year, I believe y'all are going down, Jonathan. I'm sorry. Love the stream, and people will go back and watch the video journey. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Hopefully you do. If you're popping in now, this stream will be available in my YouTube channel after I end the stream here. I originally said I was going to be live for like 30 minutes. I think we're on like 48 minutes, so I'm definitely not going to go over an hour. Probably going to close it up here after these questions, but regardless, it'll be available afterwards in my channel. The Biden creatine, no, I do not take creatine. I understand there's studies that show it could help endurance athletics. However, I haven't even experimented with it yet, so I have nothing to comment on that. Beta-alanine, sodium bicarbonate, do you take any of these supplements or have others that you take? I don't take beta-alanine. I don't do the whole sodium bicarb stuff. The only supplements I take are, I take a probiotic in the morning. It's basically healthy gut bacteria to get the body moving. For a while I was taking vitamin C, but nowadays I'm just eating a lot of citrus fruits. I sometimes take iron. I've had problems with low iron in the past, but I really think the best way to get your nutrients is from a healthy diet and from actual foods, not supplements. So that is my hot take of the day. It's not even a hot take. I think that's a common take. I like to prioritize just getting, my nutrients from foods and not from pills. So, Jonathan says, thanks, dude. Helps to know you as a reference point. Unique sort of circumstances and why I relate to the channel. Haha. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Thanks again for following along. Matt says, hi, you see my pick. I love LeBron, more so in Cleveland, but I work for... Oh, you work for the Thunder. Matt, that is sick. That's really cool stuff. Appreciate the love for LeBron there as well. I actually went to the same high school as him. Fun fact. St. Vincent St. Mary. But nonetheless, Cleveland LeBron, best LeBron there ever will be. First era and second era after coming back from Miami. What's up, Alan? How you doing, man? Run gum is my go-to. I have experimented with run gum a little bit. Actually a while back when I did my first and second marathon. It definitely jazzes you up, man. That's like a quick caffeine boost right to the system. I don't know about taking it during a race though, because I don't know. I haven't tried it actually during a race. I would just have it like in the morning before runs and stuff. But hey, if it works for you, it works for you. Also, good luck at your track race coming up here, Alan. What's your best advice to get faster? Run more miles. That is the easiest way to get faster. That's a very, very, very open-ended question too, John. If you want to watch some videos on my channel or just search throughout YouTube on how to improve in distance running, you'll find quite a bit of good information out there. But the best thing you can do is run more miles and slowly run those miles faster in the short. But don't clip what I just said there. Research it, watch my videos, watch others' videos, and really research that topic yourself. There's no one simple answer to that question. Spencer Mahone says, man, any old boys showing out here. Yes, sir, baby. Northeast Ohio, best running community in the entire world. Thank you, Biden, for the appreciate it there. Paulina Madrigal, hey, I am a huge fan. How do you find motivation to run every day? Go Browns. Let's go, baby. That's right, the best football team in the world. Appreciate the kind words there, Paulina. How do I find motivation to run every day? Well, it's really not so much motivation. It's more so just like I have to do it. Like it's just discipline at this point. Whether I have motivation or not, I'm still gonna go out there and do it. So I know one thing: if I don't run, and I don't have these races on my calendars, and I don't follow a training plan, and like I'm doing here, I will be more sad than if I just didn't run. Or I don't know if I answered that correctly at all. I would be worse off mentally if I didn't run than if I ran, even though running is hard, if that makes sense. St. V Fighting Irish, maybe a bit obsessive, but I visited your high school when I went to Cleveland for a game, and they graciously let us see the gym. Legendary, you attended there. Yes, sir, Matt. Heck of a high school, man. Loved my times back then. NEO running community rivals, that of Salt Lake City, where I'm now based. Yes, Spencer, I saw you move to Provo. You're out with the big boys out there, man. You're out with Adam Wood, Michael Otteson. You're out with, what's his name, Clayton Young, Connor Mance. That's awesome, man. Hopefully, you had a really solid long run this weekend, too, I saw. So keep crushing it out there. Let me know when you're back in Northeast Ohio. We can link up for a run here. Yes, Alan, we do got to run soon. I always do run gum before the warm-up. Morton is the only caffeinated thing I take mid-run because, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I haven't tried Morton yet. I definitely should at some point because I've heard really great things from them. But at this point, I really the only gels I am experienced with are goo gels. And that's just because they've worked for me in the past. So I definitely do need to experiment with some more stuff. But the important thing is what works for you. How do you get the calories in? The calories is the most important thing. Getting the carbs, getting the sugar in. If you like caffeine and caffeine works for you, that's great. If you don't, then avoid it. Or just have your coffee in the morning or your Diet Coke or your Celsius. You don't want to have too much caffeine, but, different talk for a different day. As an engineer, I need to run it out. Yeah, that's a fact, man. Part of the running motivation thing is like you're cooped up all day. If you've seen some of my videos, I'm an engineer. Any of us who have office jobs, when you're cooped up all day, you got to get out and move at the end of the day. At least that's the kind of guy I am. Katie Wells, thoughts on the Hanson's marathon method, making the jump to my first full marathon this spring after racing mostly halves. And I'm lost on structuring my runs, workouts, lol. So the Hanson's marathon method, I'd be lying if I said I fully knew what that method is. I'm thinking of Sage Canaday and his videos back in the day with running with the Hansons and whatnot. I unfortunately can't give you a full answer to that, Katie. As far as structuring a marathon plan, I think that planning at least about 15 weeks out minimum is what you want to do when you're looking at a marathon race. Probably more. A lot of it depends on what kind of shape you're in, like what your base fitness is going into your marathon build or your marathon plan. So as far as giving you a direct marathon structure plan right now, I would have to know a lot more information on you specifically as a runner to dive into that. But if you were able to provide that information and you were able to give me the lowdown of you as a runner, there certainly is a marathon training plan for you, as there is for any runner. So, all right. Spence Mahone had an up-tempo LR on the schedule yesterday. Went really good. I helped. I had carbon racing shoes on. Dude, I've been doing like all my hard workouts have been in carbon plated shoes. Like there's no going back after you start. They're too good, man. And you got to get used to wearing them because they're just faster for the races. So definitely no harm, no foul wearing carbon racing shoes for long runs. I don't see a problem with it. A lot of people will argue against that. If you're wearing Nike Next Percents on an easy run, then yeah, you got a problem. But if you're doing a workout, throw the carbon racers on. That's what you're going to race in. So no harm, no foul doing your workouts or quality tempo long runs in carbon fiber plated shoes. You heard it here first. Alan says Hanson's is okay. Use it for my first marathon and for Boston. Well, there you go, Katie. Definitely have to do more research into that. What else we got here? I think that's all the questions we have. So, guys, this was fun. I had fun with this live stream. Again, the first one here on the channel. Definitely a little bit unorganized. Definitely some stuff I got to polish up for next week. But I really enjoy this. Let me know what you guys thought of this style, ways I can improve for next time. things I can do differently. If you want to see these live streams structured slightly differently, let me know. I definitely do like the idea of kind of just going through my week of training, catching you up with how I feel, especially up through my marathon. Again, February the 2nd, going for sub 2:30. So, anyways, guys, just real quick here for Alan, what camera do you use to run? I just use my iPhone camera and a GoPro. That's all I do. I also have a drone. I've done one video with the drone. I have like the DJI Mini 3. It has the tracking mode. It can follow you as you run. It's definitely super cool. Paulina Madrigal, love you, Shane. Huge fan. Keep it up. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Paulina. If you guys don't know, Paulina is my girlfriend, so thank you for the support there. Spencer Mahone, real quick. Puma Fast R2s. I dig those shoes big time. I gotta check those out. Very cool. Very cool. And you did order that Nitecore light from my video, Sean. Very nice. Yeah, dude, I love that headlamp. That is a sweet it does the job perfectly for me, especially this time of year where it's like, if you have a 9 to 5 job and you're running after work, you need a headlamp if you're running outside. And that headlamp just did a perfect job for me. It had everything really I needed, and it was pretty affordable for, like, obviously I was sent it for free, but looking at like the market for headlamps, there are some very expensive ones out there that weren't even that much brighter or like the same brightness. So I think that was a really good bang for your buck there. So you got that then I got the DJI Enio drone. Okay, I haven't heard of that one, Alan, but having a drone is definitely cool. It just sucks that they have like such poor batteries. If you're doing like a long run or something and you wanted a drone to follow you the whole time, it just wouldn't happen. But all right, I'm gonna cut the chat off there before things get too crazy in here. So thank you guys again so much for the support on this channel. I'm planning to keep doing these live streams up through February 2nd at least, every Sunday. I don't have a set time in mind yet. I think I went live around 7:30 tonight. That seems to be a good time, but definitely Sundays are nice. Maybe I'll hop on here on a Saturday if I wasn't to do a Sunday, just depending on my schedule and whatnot, but we'll see how that goes. So thank you again one more time. Going to sign off for the night. Keep crushing it out there. Hope everybody's having a wonderful month of January, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.